Welcome to Coach, brought to you by exploreClarion.com. My name is Ed Baumcratz, head coach of the North Clarion Boys basketball team. And with me today is Coach Roger Walter of the Clarion area Lady Bobcats. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks for the invite. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks to exploreClarion.com for having us today. I just want to ask Coach a couple questions. Put him in the hot seat today. So, how's it feel? Defending back-to-back single-A girls champion.
I've addressed it with the papers a few times. It's a phenomenal feeling. To win it once was great. To win it back-to-back is something everybody talks about. Yes, we want to get it done, but when it finally happened, it was an incredible feeling. The girls felt it, the community felt it. It was a big thing.
So today, we're going to ask you a few questions. What got you into coaching?
I think a passion for the game, first of all. I mean, you grow up with it, you love it. It's a neighborhood thing to do. And then I had a great career, just loved being at North Clarion, the atmosphere there, even till today. An amazing place. My senior year, Ryan Kranicki took over the program, and he was probably one of the reasons I got into it. That man would motivate you to do anything. You'd run through a wall for him if you had to. So he's probably one of the biggest reasons I got into it.
Any other influential figures, coaches that you look up to today in the game?
Like I said, Ryan, first of all, just by being a mentor and a motivator like he was. And then you can't be in this area without looking up to coaches like Aaron Straub or Greg Heath. I mean, Coach Straub's put in 30-some years, 32 years, I believe, 700, maybe 800 wins. Greg Heath at his program is 30 years in, 500-plus wins. Those two people I look at. Coach Straub, methodically, his system just methodically works. They just go in and handle the game the way they want. And at Keystone, Coach Heath, he gets the maximum out of every player he's ever coached. And those are two guys that I look up to and say, I hope I get to that point someday.
And those guys have been around for 30 years, and sometimes you wonder how they stay in it that long.
It's grueling. I mean, it's a process. You have to, especially this year. The year started, and we had huge expectations. We just wanted a district title. We want to defend it. We want to repeat it. And all of a sudden, you feel like extra stress, extra pressure. They've learned to deal with it well.
When you first took over the program, what were your initial thoughts, initial goals?
At first, that was 11 years ago is when I started, and Clarion basketball wasn't on the map. People didn't look out for us. People had no concern for Clarion. So initially, my very first goal was get some respect back, try to get back into the playoff picture. But it didn't take me long to realize we had some athletes. My early teams were very athletic. So as soon as we got that first year under our belt, the goal changed. Let's get in the hunt for a district title. It took us a while. We won some big games back then, but it took us a while to get to this point.
You have 10, 11 years coaching at Clarion. Who are some of your favorite girls to coach, your best athletes off the top of your head?
Let's see. You can't have the conversation without mentioning the current players. Macy Thornton and Kyla Miles, the leaders of this year's team. You're not going to find athletes better than that. Macy works hard every day. She's motivated, wants to be good, wants to win. And Kyla's the same way. Kyla's the first 1,000-point scorer I ever had. Macy's getting extremely close. She'll be there soon. Then if I look back over the years, you can't forget about players like Ashley Hummel. Ashley flew under the radar for years, and all of a sudden, senior year, playoff time, she breaks out to, I think, lead us in every playoff game. Go a little deeper, you got Bree Ellis and Liz Shannonhouse, two great players. Bree, probably one of the most enjoyable people I've ever coached. She wanted to be good. She wanted to make every player around her good. Liz, hurt by a little injury earlier in her career, but continued working hard. And then go all the way back. We can name the Hagen twins I had years ago. I've been blessed. 10 years of good, solid athletes.
It seems like coaches go each year. It's like a revolving door sometimes. What does stability mean to you, and is it a benefit?
It has to be a benefit. You can't walk into a gym, walk into a program, and preach about all these things that need to be done. Dedication and hard work and effort, and walk away 2 years later. Because your teams pick up on that. They're going to know if you're there short-term or long-term. So I think being there year after year, setting expectations, setting long-term goals is the only way to truly make a program.
We've played together. We've coached together. Coaching athletes 10 years ago compared to coaching athletes in today's date, I've noticed a change. Do you feel the same way?
There's a definite change. I think some for the good, some for the bad. There are more things to get in the way today. More obstacles, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More.
For me, it's like we never had the cell phones or the video games.
There's more distractions. There's the word I need. There's more distractions today.
Social media.
Which makes it more difficult. I'll tell you what's hard is right now, a lot of players on different teams are friends. And that can be tough sometimes. You walk into a gym and they're not the other school anymore. They're friends that you talk to every night. So that's different. But then today, I think it's unique that players are almost more focused on their individual sport. You have the AAU teams, you have summer leagues, you have everything. So the players you do keep, they're pretty dedicated to you.
What are some words of wisdom or advice for somebody walking in as a first-year coach to establish their program to be successful?
It's going to take time, so you got to be patient. Express to your players that you're there to make a difference. You're there to care. And then keep it simple, especially the girls program I took over. Early on, I learned get to the basics and rebuild your program from the first step. And then just realize that you're in a process. You're going to want to make all the changes right off the bat, but keep it simple, keep it slow, and put in hard work.
And your philosophies and offenses, defenses are going to change year to year based on your players. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. Defense, for me, I haven't really altered. We've gone away from man-to-man and gone zone sometimes, but every season when it comes to a game that we need to get that win, we go man. It's the premier defense. If you can get up and defend somebody intense, it's the best thing you can do. Offensively, you have to mix it up. I think teams become stagnant. An offense that worked really well for 2 years with the same group of girls becomes kind of plain and boring. You got to throw some twists and shuffle things up a little bit.
When you play on the university court, Clarion University, we both coached there. It's a different atmosphere. It's a bigger court. How do you go into a game at the university compared to a game at Clarion University or Clarion Area High School or North Clarion High School?
Prep work is not altogether different. More of just getting the team psychologically ready for it. The court is bigger, so there is some more space. You've got to be aware when you're passing that ball. A pass that looks wide open is going to take extra time to get there, especially in the girls' game. You need to realize court is an issue. But more than anything, you just got to get them ready for that crowd. The university can add energy, but it can also take energy. It is such an intense place to play. And I've always told my players, the first 4 minutes mean nothing. You're going to walk on the floor. You're going to make mistakes. It's part of the fun of being there, part of the fun of high school athletics. Settle down. After a very short time, the game will become the game again.
And this is, for a basketball fan or coaches, this is the best time of year. Even if, just go watch a game, just the emotion, the passion. It's a great time to be a fan.
Yeah, the fans are awesome. I mean, up until this point, we haven't had a great following. So this year, things have changed a little bit. And not the whole year, just recently. We played Port Allegheny the other night at Kane High School, and we had 10 great, loyal fans that I'll tell you, high school guys from Clarion, Matt Verne, Damian Cherico, some other guys, they were as rowdy as 10 kids could be. And at the end of the game, when you could tell it was going to be a win, I talked to those 10 guys and I said, get us fans at the next game. I actually offered, I'll buy your tickets if you bring me some crowd. And they packed the university. The other night, if you weren't there, we had Halloween costumes and superheroes. And I believe the theme for this weekend's game is going to be USA. Red, white, and blue from head to toe. So there's some energy back. It's cool to see Clarion's community get back into the sports atmosphere.
How have the girls responded with the support and the community jumping behind them?
I'll tell you, they respond by not paying attention to me. We had a timeout in the last minute of maybe a couple minutes left in the college game the other day, and I'm down in their face trying to talk to them, and I can tell every player's looking directly over my head, and it took me off guard. I had to glance behind me to see Mr. Constantino, high school teacher of ours, leading the cheer. The girls were so excited. It's just great to see.
How do you feel about this year's team? I know you set goals at the beginning of the year. You want to set realistic goals that you can hit. How far can this team go? Are they going to come in, win a few games, or are we a state contender here? What do you think?
Our goal ultimately was to get deeper than we were last year. I do think that's a possibility. The first round game looks good for us. Second round game is going to be a very competitive game where if you play well, you're going to get a win. If you don't play well, you're not. Once we get deeper than that, we're in that Elite Eight, and you know what you're going to run into. We're going to run into private schools, charter schools, Catholic schools. We're going to run into a whole different type of basketball game. It takes a perfect game at that point to win.
Can you comment on your first round opponent in the state playoffs, Fraser?
I've talked to some people, got a little information on Fraser. It looks like a good spot for us. Winning the district aligns you with the team that you should be able to handle, and I think that's what you're going to see. I think our energy, up-tempo style will probably lend to a victory.
I think you survived your first hot seat interview. I just want to thank you for joining the first Coach to Coach here. My name is Ed Baumcratz with Coach Roger Walter. Thanks for joining.